Hello, in this video I want to dive deep into why when you're making a film every scene matters and how when you're shooting that film how to get the absolute most out of every single scene. And if you are new here, this video series is about the making of Irish independent sci-fi feature film comedy Gardener's Planet. During the making of this film I've gone to extraordinary lengths to make every scene as strong as it possibly can be. And in this video series I've tried to share what I've learned, and I've tried to share how independent films are really made in the year 2024. No make-believe, no bullshit. So if you're interested in hearing what I have to say, please like and subscribe, and also don't be shy about leaving a comment. Also stick around, and towards the end of the video I will be giving you my advice on what key ingredients I think you need to make every scene great. Every film, no matter how long or short it is filled with scenes. And believe me when I tell you, every single one of those scenes matter. The key and most obvious reason is that because you want to maintain basically the overall quality of your project. And having one lame or bad scene that doesn't quite work will have a negative effect on the overall quality of the project. And to a degree, you know, a film is only ever as good as the scene that came before it. And I know when you're filming and you're rushing and you're trying to get through the call sheet, you just want to bang through it and get everything done. Believe me, I'm guilty of that. But taking the time and appreciating the potential of every scene will have enormous payoffs for you in the editing. But the good side of that is if you string enough of those good scenes together, hey, you have a film. Great job. In the film, in the scene that we're focusing on, when our lead character Harry first meets Brian and Sarah, it's kind of in the guise of a TV show. First seeing them in their home and then some vignettes of their work life, and it's this work life aspect of Sarah that we reshot and are focusing on today. So we shot a smaller version of this scene in summer 2022, and it was shot on the very second day of shooting of Block 1, and I was meeting Giles and Sarah for the first time. I was trying to get through a call sheet, and yeah, I was guilty of just trying to get through a schedule. And it wasn't really until the end of Block 1 when we shot Giles' equivalent of the scene with his job, and we managed to get a dealership location that was really fun, and he did a great job kind of improvising the scene, and that really made me realize the humor and the mileage we could get out of the scene, and was a real factor in making me want to reshoot the Sarah scene. So we had this idea that Sarah was kind of selling some fast fashion t-shirts, and it was in that original shooting of Block 1. But I felt in going back and reshooting this office scene, it was an opportunity to expand on that, and so I ordered some fast fashion gardening kind of t-shirts online, and they arrived and they were great, and we worked them into the scene with Sarah running a fast fashion office and Becky being her kind of unwilling, awkward assistant. And it was great, and we had a lot of fun shooting it, and Becky and Sarah not improvise. Well, there was improvisation, but we also followed the script, and there was just a lot of laughter. I always feel like every scene that you shoot should be treated like a short film. Every scene should be approached seriously, respectfully. You should be thinking about it, how much mileage and how much potential you can get from that scene, because the scene has always more to offer you than you realize on the surface. And the more time you spend with the actors or on your own with your computer typing it out, the more time you spend sitting down talking or thinking about that scene, the huge amount more it will pay off in the editing. And I'm only saying that from experience of shooting my own film. So one thing that I love about this film, and I think it kind of comes from me putting on plays previously in the theatre, is that really in this film, everyone in it really gets a chance to shine, no matter how much screen time they do or do not get. Because if you're putting on a play, and if you have a character, you really have to use that character. You just can't have the actor waiting backstage all the time. And sometimes maybe it's helpful to imagine that, like when you're making a film, if you haven't seen a character in a while, maybe to imagine that actor really is waiting backstage, and you need to get them on to make sure that they feel like part of the project. But yeah, everyone in this film gets a chance to really shine and do their thing. Michael Parle, who's obviously our main actor, he's in almost every scene, but he's quite passive in a way, and he gets pushed around by a lot of people. But he has great comedic timing, and Michael did a fantastic job. Connor Dwan, another one of our great actors, fantastic, from Cork. He is a great monologue in the hotel that I think is really cool, and he did a fantastic job with that. Sean Donegan playing the role of Stanley. He is a great kind of Texas Chainsaw Massacre moment in the woods, where it's also kind of a monologue, but he's waving the chainsaw around. It's really great. And he's got the beard on, he's covered in mud, it just looks fantastic. Giles and Sarah are a great comedy duo, and they work really well together, playing the aliens who are disguised as humans. Aidan and Gemma, they're in a lot of scenes together, but they I think equally both get moments to shine. And you know, in terms of all four of those actors, Sarah, Giles, Gemma and Aidan, they also have consequence in the film, and their actions affect things. Ursula O'Connell has a great scene at the beginning of the movie where she breaks up with Harry in a previous video that I documented. Check here to watch it, the cafe scene. And she did a great job with that, and I just love our actors. But it's theatrical in another way as well, and the other way in which I feel it's theatrical is not just the cast, but also in the blocking. And I feel that the characters are moving in this film more so than in other films maybe, and the way they're moving, they're not just shuffling, but they're moving in very specific ways. And I feel that the blocking of this kind of, the blocking of the scenes, I've worked very hard on, but I feel it's very theatrical, and the actors are moving around each other and working with each other and using the space and moving in and out of the view of the camera. And I've really tried to do that, and that's probably been influenced very much by Wells and his theatre background, and something, you know, like Citizen Kane or Touch of Evil, one of my favourite movies. But I love that, and I think the way that you move your cast in the film is so important. And it's very easy to put two characters on a sofa, put two characters around a table, but you have to try and move the actors. I think in my film we maybe may have moved them too much, but I enjoyed that, and that's just something I enjoy. And I think the way in which they move relates to kind of the power dynamic of the scene. And the more you can use all those elements which are at your disposal, like your cast, like your space, the space in the frame where the camera is, the more chance that you are going to get a really, really good scene. So here are my tips on what you need for a great scene. The first, of course, is that the scene has to have a purpose. It has to exist for a reason. So think about why you have that scene in the movie. Think about how it advances the story, how it advances the character. Number 2, conflict. Conflict is the essential component of any film. If you don't have conflict, you don't have a film. Character development. The characters are always changing and evolving throughout the story. And the more you can focus on the journey that they're going on, and the more that you can visualize their development within the scene, the more successful and emotionally, the more of an emotional payoff you will have at the end. Setting, location. Yeah, always try and get a great location. To have a variety of locations in any film will feel good, and getting this office scene down in Wexford also expanded the scope of our film. So much of the film is set in the house and in the woods, and the more of these little kind of locations that we could add in, be it the office, be it the car dealership, be it the cafe, be it Michael's house, the more those make the film feel bigger. So thinking about locations and thinking about something not necessarily unusual, but just that visually maybe isn't the rest of the film, will make the film feel stronger. Dialogue. Have great dialogue. What else do you need to say? Do we need to say anything else about that? Make the dialogue as good as it can be. I don't know. Just that's a tip for this scene. So, action and movement. Have the characters moving in the scene. Don't just put them on a sofa. Don't just put them on a chair. Have them moving around the scene. Use the space. Make the film feel dynamic. Give it energy. Emotion. Yeah, have emotion. Humor. You know, put humor in the film. That's an emotion. that's kind of connected to character development as well. So whatever the characters are going through, you want that emotion and that tone reflected in the scene. Pacing. Keep the scenes as short and tight as you can. The best advice I ever read, and it's famous advice, is arrive late to a scene and leave early. You don't want to be hanging around. You don't want the audience to get bored with the scene. Do the scene, have your fun with the scene, pay it off, whatever the emotion is, and then move on. Get out of there. Great, that is the end of another video, and thank you for watching. Stay tuned. I'm going to be making some more videos soon. I've got to make at least 2 more over the next 2 weeks before I kind of go back to work in September. So there'll be some more videos on this channel very, very soon, especially as we go into more the post-production stage rather than the production stage. There'll be some exciting things happening. And the film is going to be a cool film. I just feel so lucky that I'm surrounded by so many talented people, not just here in Cork, but also in Ireland. There's just so many amazing talented people, and I'm so lucky that I was able to get so many of them onto this project. Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of more fun things with the project. Hopefully talking to more of the actors. I need to get them involved with the video as well. But stay tuned. We're going to keep making videos. We're going to keep discussing the project. I'm going to keep delving into it and exposing everything that I've learned, and hopefully try and share it with you guys as much as possible. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't. Yo, yo, yo. And we'll see you soon.